Hello, Conneautville Church of Christ. This is Jim and Jackie Baumgardner, greeting you guys from near Louisville, Kentucky. Peaceful Pastures is where we're sheltering it in place here.
We decided that we would film this outside where you can enjoy a little bit of the beauty as well. So we're just going to make this short with some bullet points, and we wish we could be there with you and answer your questions, things that you want to ask us and to hear about. But
we'll just try to anticipate some of those things with a few highlights. But one thing for sure, we want to be sure and greet you from the saints and the churches in Bosnia-Herzegovina, many whom you've been praying for as you've been part of the gospel partnership in church planting and disciple making with us in Bosnia for almost 20 years now. We've been there for almost 21. And we want to say thank you. We are so grateful for that partnership, and we're going to report on a few of those things that the Lord has done through us and through your prayers.
right, we had intended to be there with you in person, but because of the shutdown back in March, we've been stuck here. We're still stuck here in America past our return date, but waiting and feeling like very soon we'll be returning to Bosnia.
So we were in communication with Dan Benura and Rich, and so here's just hopefully a suitable substitute until we can see you guys again, maybe the next time we're in the States after all of this COVID stuff passes. So in terms of a few highlights, one of the things we wanted to mention to you and give thanks to you and to first and foremost to the Lord is we've been praying for more workers for the past 3 or 4 years, maybe about 4 years, and because the Bosnia is still so unreached. There's just so few churches and so few disciples. And we just need more workers. So God answered that prayer.
He did. He did. We were praying and asking all of you, our supporters, to pray for 15 people, and He sent us 15. In fact, as of now, we have over 20.
We do. We have a total. He spent almost 24 total, and now we have almost 30 workers that are part of our teams in Bosnia-Herzegovina. A few more are on the way. We still need more, so we're going to continue to ask God, the Lord of the Harvest, to send us more workers. We ask you to join us in that. A few other things. One of our goals over there, just to remind everybody, is our chief goal is to glorify God by trying to catalyze some kind of a church planting, disciple making movement amongst the peoples of Bosnia-Herzegovina. And that's been really going, it's been going very slowly, but progress is being made. We have what we call a network now of other expat missionaries and local believers in churches who are just trying to make disciples in really simple ways and start simple churches that have a DNA of reproducing. We're just hopeful in the Lord that we're going to see something in the coming years. We're just working really hard at that. We've got people in now 7 or 8 different cities, and of real interest is just this past year the Lord connected us with some churches of Christ in Croatia, in the neighboring country of Croatia, and also in Serbia. We're now kind of a part of this network where we're trying to employ these really simple disciple-making, church-planting principles in order to get some multiplication of spiritual resources going.
And another area we wanted to bring you up to date on is the pro-life work, Voice for Life. In Bosnian, it's called Glas za život. And we have a few updates to report on, and that is Anya, who we've talked about and asked you to pray for some time, is going to start come into a full-time position this fall. So we are really excited about that. I'm going to be working very closely with her as we continue to develop the work. Also, we are partnering with local churches. Specifically, one church is partnering with us, giving us names of single moms that we are coming alongside of and helping provide food and necessary things, as well as support, and hopeful that we can share Jesus with them as well, bring them into a relationship with Him.
Yep, and save some babies. Because
Along-
one of the other things that we're trying to do
course.
is, of course, trying to raise awareness about the issue of abortion, offer alternatives to it, obviously, and to locate and come into contact with young women or any women who
are
are
at risk.
who
Yeah.
are at risk, who
Yeah.
are abortion minded, so that we can share love and options with them.
And we do that a lot through our social media work, website, Facebook page, and ads on our Facebook page and those kinds of things. And lastly, I just wanted to share with you another Bosnian that we are beginning to work with. Ines is her name, and we've been praying for this. She is very pro-life minded. She's still in university. She's studying journalism, and she's helping us become more, helping us learn how to promote Voice for Life, and using her journalistic skills to update our website and edit things for us. So we're really excited. She's also a believer, and so we're thanking the Lord for that.
Yeah. So pray for the pro-life initiative ministry. It's really important, especially on his leadership in that. We'll finish up with us a couple of more things and a story. One of the other things that's been going on that some of you may have read about is our using media, social media, to try and locate spiritually open people. You know, a lot of churches around the world do that these days. Ours is a fairly focused thing, looking for truly spiritually open people, people of peace, and then we want to get that relationship offline and see if we can start Bible studies with them, in essence. In the past few months, we also want to mention another praise thing, because we have a new young Bosnian woman who's our responder to all of the people who write in on the social media and ask for information, show interest. She's got to determine if they're serious, how serious, and have a dialogue with them, and then pass them off to one of us or somebody who can go meet with them. It's been kind of tricky during COVID, but that's the goal. And actually, last month it happened with a woman, and a missionary gal in another city met with her, explained the gospel to her, and she was ready. She was like the Lord, just like Lydia. The Lord had prepared her heart to hear and understand the gospel, and she wants to follow Jesus now, as she is. So we'll be continuing to follow up on that and see if there's any other people in her sphere of influence. Another person, a guy by the name of Mirsad, different Mirsad, he came into we call it Isus Messiah, Jesus the Messiah, is the Facebook page, and he actually turned out to claims to be a believer from about 10 years ago, from a Muslim background, from a really remote, unreached part of Bosnia and Serbia. It's really, really Muslim, and I started to interact with him over Messenger and talk to him, and he seemed like he really, really was the real thing. But he'd never been in a part of a church, and he'd never been baptized, and he still hasn't. But he's really eager to meet other Bosnians. So it was kind of clunky over the internet, so I passed him off to our good friend Hussein back in Sarajevo, because that's where he lives. He actually lives across the park from us, like about 500 meters away. So anyways, he is now meeting with Hussein, and this has just happened in the past 10 days. And Hussein, I talked to him yesterday, to the day before, and he says they were together like 6 hours the other day. And in fact, when I called him, they were having coffee and talking again. So these are really, really good, hopeful things that the Lord is going to use to expand and advance His kingdom in Bosnia-Herzegovina. And once again, thank you for your partnership in the gospel there. And we'll just, is there anything else that we've missed, Jack?
No, just again, thankful.
Yeah, I think
so
that's
thankful
it.
that we can be your representatives there. And we pray for you all and thank the Lord for you all.
Amen.
And,
We do.
send our love.
So may the Lord bless you and keep you and make His face shine on you and be merciful to you and give you big time peace.
Peace.
Pray that in
Amen.
Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
So, bye-bye.